Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Nwansi. I am a photography business coach. I also have a signature photography program called Roadmap to Books. I am also a wedding and portrait photographer. So on this channel, you're going to find things like photography tips, business tips. You're also going to find lots of mindset things because I believe that's also what helps you become successful. And you're also going to find work-life balance. A lot of the reason that people really like our program, Roadmap to Book, and a lot of the reason that they follow me is because I'm also a stay-at-home, full-time homeschooling mama. I have 3 kiddos at home while I run multiple businesses. So I've really mastered how to have successful businesses and be able to kind of also be present at home and make sure I'm doing all the family things that are important to me as well. I always like to have my notes in front of me because I'm just not good at completely going off the cuff just yet. So you'll see me looking down as we go. And if there's something that you want to see me talk about more, if there's something that you want to learn more about in photography specifically or just business in general, leave a comment below. I definitely like to make more videos about what is helpful to you guys. And of course, hit that like and subscribe button to support. Okay, so today I want to talk about this idea where people think that in order to have a successful business, they need to have strategy. I am a strategist. It's one of my expertise. And strategy is super, 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 super important. But there is one thing that I've noticed after studying successful entrepreneurs for over 10 years. And when I say studying, I mean, I've read days and days and days worth of books. I've watched videos. I've taken courses. I've done so much training and studying on what makes successful people successful. And there's one thing across the board that I've noticed time and time again, and it's the power of being grateful. A lot of us overlook this because we think it's just like some woo-woo thing that we don't have to seriously think about. And what I found is there's actually science-backed things that back the idea of how being grateful really does affect your life and your business and your family and yourself and all of that stuff. And that's what I want to talk about today because I really want you guys to leave this video really, really understanding how if you were to do nothing else today but implement the things we'll talk about at the end of the video, you're going to see your business, your life, everything start changing really quickly just from doing this one thing. In order to be grateful, you have to be conscious of being grateful because what I've noticed is we've conditioned ourselves as a society to complain. We're like complainers, right? And like, I do it too as well. So it's like, I just see it all the time. You see it when you introduce yourself to someone. You're like, hey, my name's so-and-so. Oh my God. Like, I love what you've been doing with your business. Yeah, but I could be doing more. Or when you're congratulating somebody, maybe a friend on working so hard and losing weight, they're like, oh, thank you so much. But I could have done this differently. I could have ate better. I could have lost more. When you talk to someone and you're like, hey, how are you doing today? Busy, tired, and the list goes on. And so it's almost like we're conditioned to complain. It's like we're conditioned to notice the things that are going wrong instead of being grateful for the things that are going right. Successful people don't do this. Okay. So this would be a response to somebody who maybe was successful. They've been working on their weight loss and they lost weight. Hey, you did such a phenomenal job on losing weight. It's so inspiring. God, thank you. You know what? It was really hard, but I'm really proud of the work that I put in. There's no complaining there. There's no, yeah, but like I could have done this differently. There's no false needing to go in and to batter yourself down so that that person feels comfortable in that conversation. They're fully grateful in the work that they did. They're fully grateful in everything that they accomplished, and they're not afraid to own that. So outside of being conditioned, it's very easy too for our mind to go to all of the negative things that are happening in our life, right? And here is the simple law of life. What you focus on grows. So whether that's the bad stuff you're focusing on, whether it's the good stuff you're focusing on, you can't focus on something bad and something good at the same time simultaneously. It is literally impossible. You can't say, I have no money right now, but then also say, I have enough money for what I need right now and I'm excited to grow it more. Those things cannot coexist. And so by the law of just attraction and the law of life, whatever you focus on grows. It's kind of like when you start thinking, okay, I want to buy a certain brand of car that you've never really noticed before. But the second you focus on that, you start seeing that car everywhere, right? It's something that happens all the time. And it's the same thing that happens in your life, right? Whatever energy you put out is the energy that you get back. So with that being said, you can't have a negative thought and a positive thought exist simultaneously. And if you were to sit there and inspect your thoughts throughout the day, you would realize really quickly that I promise you the majority of us have negative thoughts. Whether it's the second you get up and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to get up again. I'm so tired. I feel so sluggish. I have to get to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to get the kids up, blah, 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 right? It goes into, oh my God, my business is so hard. Why am I not doing what this person's doing? Why is this person killing it on Instagram and I only have 3 likes? Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? It goes into the way you think about yourself. It goes into the way you think about your family, your marriage, all of that, right? And it's absolutely insane. If you were to sit there and you were to notice the way that you think about the tiny things, the millions of tiny things that are happening on a daily basis throughout your life, you would be like, I am a horrible person to myself and I need to change this immediately. But the problem is we aren't aware and we're not intentional about the way that we think about things. Successful people don't do this. They're very intentional about the way that they think about things. Okay. So, instead of waking up and going, so tired today, I can't believe I have to wake up so early because I have kids and I can't get my work done anytime else. I never get alone time, XYZ. And you're going on this rant essentially of how horrible your life is and how ungrateful you are for everything. You could wake up and you could be like, yeah, I'm tired, but so what? Thank you, God, for waking me up for another day. Thank you for my limbs. Thank you for my breath. Thank you that I get to live another day. And also, how amazing is it that I have woken myself up? I'm actually getting up out of bed and I get this time to love on myself, to work on myself. And how amazing is it that when I'm done loving on myself and working on myself, I have these beautiful little babies that are just so excited to see me in the morning and they're going to jump in my lap. Now, you might hear that and you might be like, come on, like nobody thinks like that. That sounds cheesy. But what I'm telling you is you need to think like that. You need to be so grateful for the things that are happening in your life because the law of attraction says whatever you focus on grows. If you're grateful for the tiny things, you're going to be getting more of these amazing abundance things, okay? If you're grateful, instead of saying, for example, here's another great one, I never have enough money. Instead, if you turn that around and you say, I'm so grateful for the money I'm making right now. I'm so grateful for being healthy enough to make the money that I'm making right now. And what makes me even more grateful is I know without a doubt that I'm able to make as much as I want. I just need to learn the strategy with a mindset, put those things together, and I can make as much as I want to make. And I'm so grateful for that. That's such a different energy than every single day being like, I just don't have enough money. I never have enough money. Have you ever noticed that there's people who regardless of what they do, regardless of the work they're in, regardless of anything, it seems like everything comes easily to them. Money comes easy, relationships come easy, and they just have this glow of abundance around them, right? So everybody knows somebody like that, if not multiple people. Okay. And then You also have people in your life who, regardless of their circumstances, regardless of their money situation, regardless of anything, it's like they're always trekking this uphill battle. Okay. Their car's always breaking. Things are always getting stolen from them. They're always having health issues. And it's just like one thing on top of another, on top of another. And I guarantee you, if you talk to those people, it's like, my life sucks. I'm broke. Yada, 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 yada. And what they're not realizing is, obviously, there's things they can put into their place that are tangible in their life to make their life better. But they're so focused on what they're ungrateful for, they're completely unaware of the fact that those things that they're focusing on are continuing to come into their life because they're focusing on them. Does that make sense? And the people who seem to like randomly get money in their bank account and always find great jobs and always seem to have money no matter what, and, have a great family life, and they never seem that stressed out. These are people who wake up and they're like, you know what, I'm tired, but so what? Like, I'm just grateful that I woke up. These are people who are like, you know what? I know that whatever job I get, I'm going to be grateful because I know it's going to be amazing and I'm going to kill it. And if I don't like it anymore, I'll find another job. Okay. So two completely different mindsets. And again, you cannot have a negative thought and a positive thought that coexist in the same thought. It's not humanly possible, right? So with that being said, you have to change your thought process. And you have to change it to one of gratefulness. Okay. Now, after hearing all of this, I'm sure you're wondering, how can I apply this to my life? Like, okay, cool, Liz. Like, I get it. I need to focus on positive stuff. I need to be grateful, all of that stuff, right? So the first step that you have to do is you simply have to notice, okay? So just take one day, take 24 hours or however long you're awake for the day. Set an intention that day to notice every single thought that runs across your brain. This sounds really simple, but I can guarantee you the majority of people who are living on Earth do not notice what they're thinking. The reason I know this is because it's almost like a meditation. You have to be, when you meditate, they tell you that it's not actually about removing thought. It's about noticing the thoughts that are going on in your brain. So when I started meditating, I realized, wow, like I'm an asshole to myself. I'm really mean to myself. And in the same way, I noticed that most of the people around me weren't aware of the stuff that they were telling themselves and the stuff they were saying about themselves because they didn't simply notice their thoughts. So the first step that I want you to do is I want you to notice your thoughts. Take one day after you watch this, tomorrow, the entire day, and notice what you're thinking about, what you're talking about, what you're saying about yourself and your surroundings. Most likely, it's not going to be one thought of abundance. It's not going to be a thought of thank you. It's not going to be a thought of gratefulness. And again, if you're not thinking that, then what you're thinking is negative. Okay? So I want you to notice how many ways you're thinking negatively throughout your day. That's going to be huge because when you notice that, that's when you can go, holy crap, like this is crazy. And then you can do the next thing to change it, right? The next thing you want to do is you want to train your mind daily, right? You go to the gym to train your muscles. You watch courses to train to be able to do a job, okay? In the same way, you also want to train your mind, okay? Your brain is a muscle, so just look at it like that. How do you train your mind? Here's what not to do. You need to realize that the people around you are a result of your thinking, whether it's negative or positive. I'm not telling you to remove the people around you. I'm telling you to notice what's being said by the people around you, okay? The next thing you want to do is you want to notice what else is being said to you in the media, in TV, on Instagram. The things that you're consuming are sending you a message and you're likely internalizing that message, okay? When you realize, okay, I'm watching the news and it's making me really scared and I think the world's going to blow up and die tomorrow. When you realize, okay, I'm on Instagram and everybody's talking about how perfect their life is and I'm internalizing how much my life sucks because it's not as perfect as they show in their feed. When you realize every time I talk to someone in my family, they're telling me that I should just get a real job because they have their own fears and their own insecurities going on. But I'm internalizing that and I'm thinking, okay, like they're right. I actually probably couldn't make it being an entrepreneur. And so that's affecting how I'm showing up. When you realize that you're internalizing these things, then you can turn it around and you can go, okay, now that I know these are here, I can minimize how often I'm letting these things come in, right? You can minimize how much TV you're watching. You get to choose how much you're on Instagram, if at all. You get to choose the people that are in your life to a certain degree, or how often you talk to them, right? Or even the words they say to you. It's okay to be like, hey, I love you, but this is not a conversation I want to have anymore. Anything else is open. However, I don't want to have the conversation about how you think that I should just get a real job. And if they love and support you, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. And then you get to turn that and you get to start filling your mind with things to train it to be grateful. Affirmations. Go on Pinterest. There's a great list of affirmations. We have a freebie that I'll list below that has a list of affirmations. All affirmations is replacing what you're hearing in society and replacing it with what you actually need to hear. What is the actual truth? Okay. When you do that, you're training your mind to think positive. You're training your mind to start to be grateful for things. You can find affirmations that say, I am grateful that God woke me up. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for the sun in the sky. I'm grateful. Look up grateful affirmations. Start to train your mind to think differently, because what you focus on grows, right? What we focus on grows. If you guys get nothing else from this, just remember what you focus on grows and choose that carefully. Now, the third thing is you want to write it down. Okay. So I'm sure you've already heard this. Write down either at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, 3 things that you're thankful for. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to cross out the 3 and I want you to list 10. Here's why. I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of trials on myself. And what I've realized is you can come up with 3 things really easy. It's really easy to come up with 3 things. My family, my health, God. Okay. And it's easy to just keep going. My family, my health, God. My family every single day. I want you to stretch yourself. I want you to get in the act of finding what you're grateful for. You'll probably easily think of 3 to 5. And what I want you to do is I want you to do 10. Okay. 10 things that you're grateful for. And you're like, what the heck, 10? And it's like, if you can't find 10 things you're grateful for, we need to talk. It doesn't need to be like, I'm grateful for my health, God, family, and all of these like crazy huge. It could literally just be, I'm thankful that my coffee was hot today when I drank it. It wasn't cold and I didn't have to reheat it 40 times. I'm thankful that I looked outside and there's trees and I'm just really thankful for that today. I'm thankful for my candle because I lit a candle today and I love the smell. It could be so simple, but you have to think of 10 things because you're going to get into the art of searching for things to be thankful for so that you replace what you're already doing, which is searching for things to be complaining about. Okay. So I really, really hope that you take this. This is something that's huge that a lot of people don't talk about unless they're in like that life coach mindset space, which I am not. I'm just here to share what has really transformed for my businesses, both my photography business, my coaching business, and it's transformed the way that I've showed up as a mom, as a family member, as a wife, all of that. Okay. So leave a comment below. Let me know what tip or what resonated with you the most out of all of this. You know, it's very easy to be like, that's woo woo and skip on to the next thing. But our life doesn't change by consuming. Our life changes by application and mindset, whether or not we believe it to be true or not, still is a fundamental aspect of growing your business. So whether you believe it's true or not, it doesn't mean it's not true. And it doesn't mean that not working on it is going to get your business any further. Again, strategy can only go so far, but whether you believe you can or you can't, that's really going to determine whether or not you can move forward in your business. Okay. So in the next video, you're going to get some tips for if you're starting out as an entrepreneur, more mindset tips that will help you specifically as an entrepreneur, not just start your journey, but start it off really well and differentiate yourself from other people who don't know these tips. Okay. So stay tuned. Make sure, again, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.